Hi, David Newlands from Portobello in Edinburgh, Scotland here again. And today I'm going to be talking about how we express the idea of quantity in English. Now obviously we can use numbers. We can talk about one woman, two, three, four women and so on. But we're instead going to be concentrating upon words like some or many or less. These words are quantifiers, ways of talking about the quantity of something or some number of people. Okay, we're going to go through all the different quantifiers one by one, but to understand their use properly, we have to remind ourselves about the distinction between countable and uncountable nouns. You may remember this, you may have done this before, but let's just quickly go over that. Countable nouns are ones which relate to separate objects or people or ideas that we can count. So we can talk about 3 apples, 3 separate objects, 3 women, 3 opinions. Uncountable nouns relate to substances or liquids or abstract qualities which we don't consider as being separate things, but as being part of some single mass. So examples would be coffee or water or silence. So we talk about coffee, but we don't talk about 6 coffees. Oh, but hang on, we do talk about 6 coffees. So what's going on here? Well, it's quite easy really. When we say 6 coffees, that's short for 6 cups or 6 mugs of coffee. And of course, cup is a countable noun. So we can say 6 cups of coffee. And when we say 6 coffees, that's really what we mean. Okay, so with that distinction between countable and uncountable nouns in mind, let's turn to the different quantifiers. So some quantifiers can only be used with countable nouns. Each, every, both, many or not many, a few, fewer, and several. So we can talk about each person, every year, not many goals in the game, a few tables, fewer chairs, several presents. Okay, and next are of course quantifiers which can only be used with uncountable nouns. There's a smaller number of these, much or not much, a little, less. So we can talk about not much happiness, a little butter, less wine. Okay, and then there's a final category of quantifiers, and these are words about quantity that can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. So some, any or not any, more or most, all or no, enough. These are all examples of this category. So we can talk about some happiness, some apples. We can talk about more water, more men. We can talk about enough beer, enough books. And in each of these cases, we can use the words with an uncountable noun and with a countable noun. Okay. Now we've been talking about use of the quantifiers with a noun, but in fact most quantifiers can also be used without a noun. And usually this is in response to a question. So at the end of the party, I could say, how much food was left? And the answers might be a little or not much. So we're using a quantifier, but without referring to the noun food. But there are a few quantifiers, no, all, each and every, that we cannot use in that way. Right, and then to our last situation. We were talking in my last video about articles and possessives and demonstratives. Well, we can use these in combination with of and a noun in the formation of plus article or possessive or demonstrative plus noun. And we might say some of their children were there, or most of these cars are green. But we can't use no and every in this way. We have to alter these words. So instead of no, we use none. So we could say none of their children were there. Or we could say all of these cars are green. Okay, that's it for today. We'll just leave it there and see you next time. Bye.